In this session of Dezignworks TV, we're going to be featuring a brand new module we've just added to Dezignworks called DSM, Digital Shape Modeling. It's the world's first integrated laser scanning for SOLIDWORKS. In this session, we'll be featuring the Romer Absolute Arm, 7-axis, with its built-in laser. So let's get started. This example is a bumper from a 1/3 scale NASCAR model. It's very flexible, or we could possibly probe this. Because it's so flexible, we chose to use the laser. We've already gone ahead and created alignment with Dezignworks, and then used SOLIDWORKS to create some planes. We also used Dezignworks to create this boundary. We want to show you an example of how we can actually contain the laser. The key to this product is, number one, ease of use, no messy cleanup because you're not creating point cloud data, and all native SOLIDWORKS features. So if you're already a user of Dezignworks, you're going to be using one of the same commands. In this case, it's called the Lock Plane tool. You simply select the planes you want to scan through. Now, the nice thing about Dezignworks DSM is it stores the movement of the laser. So you can see I don't have to pick all these cross sections. It's storing the movement of the device into a database. So I'm picking some planes, and maybe for later, maybe I may need an extra guide curve or something. I can create splines or points, open or close data, and we can change the minimum spacing. I want to have the point spacing about every 100,000ths, and I do want to contain it because there is an issue. The laser goes out to infinite length. So how do you stop it from going over to areas you don't want to scan? In this case, I'm going to contain it by a boundary I created. On the right, you'll notice the RDS scanning. It gives me feedback on how the device is manipulating. I also can expand this, and it shows me how well I'm focused. On the screen, you're going to notice there is a beam going horizontal and a dot. All I simply have to do is line these up, pull the trigger, and start scanning. It's very similar to the way you would spray paint. So we're going to come over here, and again, directly inside of SOLIDWORKS, we're going to come over here. I want to start about in this area, pull the trigger, and I'm just going to start scanning. Now again, I don't have to cover all this. We store the movement to the database. So in this case, I'm going to select where I want to scan. Certain areas. So you can see it's almost like painting. And again, this is so flexible, that's why we wouldn't hard probe it. Gives you the freedom now to laser scan directly inside of SOLIDWORKS. So if you got parts that are real flexible or something that you didn't want to scratch. So let's say this was actually in a car, and our goal is here, we're going to make a bracket that goes in the back. Well, nobody wants to scratch their car, or if it's possibly glass or something, tear it up. So now you have the ability to do non-contact laser scanning directly inside SOLIDWORKS. So again, all I'm doing is I'm lining up the dot somewhere close to this plane, and I'm scanning it. Now again, it does store the movement. So if we needed data in between here, we can simply come back and select more planes and actually load the movement. So the whole time I'm scanning, it's going to store this whole movement. It really is this easy. And the key is there's no messy cleanup because there is no point cloud. In a second, you'll see these scans will be added to the SOLIDWORKS feature tree. And there'll be curves that you can edit and change. And just in case, I'm going to go ahead and do a scan down the middle. In the event you might use a different type of tool to model this in SOLIDWORKS, you may want like a center curve, boundary curve, whatever you may need. Let's just go ahead and grab it now while we're here. So we go ahead, we're going to create it. And notice Dezignworks will give you some feedback. Yes, it's processing points relatively really fast. So notice this table here. In the event you need to stop it, you could actually stop. But watch this data count, the way it processes and how fast. And again, it's going to produce curves on planes and put them right into the SOLIDWORKS feature tree. And with Dezignworks 2012, we added a new folder that's actually going to organize all these. So if you need to do multiple scans, it puts a folder with the time and date. So you can come back and collaborate if you want to add more data to certain scans. So as it's processing, giving you good feedback, and notice there's the folder and it has all the information in it. These are all native SOLIDWORKS entities. Notice how smooth that is. And again, if something needed to be changed, you had a bad part, had a hole, or say you lifted, you can go back here and edit all these curves. We're going to utilize the SOLIDWORKS lofting tool. And in this case, we're just going to simply select them. You'll notice how smooth this is. And again, if I did want more contour shape, I have the ability now, because I added some curves, I could possibly even use a guide curve if needed. But I don't think in this case we're going to even need it. It looks so good. Now the real intent here was to grab the shape and be able to make a bracket towards the center. So what's really nice is this data is all usable. It's not imported. It's truly SOLIDWORKS data. So let's just come over here on this plane. And we can start drawing. Or in this case, we might want to offset it, get a little closer, because again, our goal was to make a bracket. So I'm just going to grab that plane and drag it up here somewhere closer where I want to work, because I don't need it, way back there. This would control where my thickness would be. So I'm simply going to be normal to that face and start a new sketch. So now I can come in here and I can design my new bracket. Let's make it so it goes over a couple areas of the shape here. Maybe it's a license plate bracket, whatever. The whole intent is to show how I can utilize this. So I'm going to draw something on that face, and the goal is I can extrude it up to a surface. I can grab that shape. That quick, you go ahead and extrude it up to there. We can continue using SOLIDWORKS to, smooth it, round it, put fillets on it. But again, the whole intent was, how fast can you make something? Imagine how long it would take you to grab that shape and try to fit that contour to that. It gives you freedom to use the laser in Dezignworks in conjunction with SOLIDWORKS to make any type of part you want. Tune in next week. We start doing some more parts featuring DSM. Have a great day.